I want to show you how to use JavaScript to format form fields, both the text color and the fill color, using RGB values instead of actually using regular colors. So I'm going to select the name field, and what I want to do is, instead of assigning it here for that particular field, what I'm going to do is format using JavaScript. And this allows you to get a feel for a variety of things within JavaScript, one of which is something known as an array. So we're going to work with an array. We're going to put our RGB colors into an array and then get those colors displayed right here. So that's where we're heading. Now, the colors I want to add, and I'll close that up, are colors that match my website. So here's my scenario. My website has this word in this light aqua color, and I have my brush here, or the brush handle, in a fuchsia type color. Now I know the RGB values for those two colors. So I'm sure within your company or within any documents you're working in, you can access the RGB colors because most companies have already provided that for all of the print and website materials that they use. So once I have those RGB colors, it's a matter of getting them into JavaScript. So let's look at how to do that. First of all, I want to select the field, and I'll double click to get to the properties. And since this is a formatting piece, I'm going to put it in the Formatting tab. Within the category, I'll go down to Custom because I'm going to add a custom script. I'll click the Edit button, and this is where I want to type in the script that's going to convert my colors. Now, first of all, I'm going to work with the variable, and the variable I'm going to set up is color RGB. And I'm going to set that up to event.target. What that's going to do is set up the color value, or this particular variable, for this field. Next, I'm going to say, take that color RGB and set it equal to, whoops, not equal to. This is a property, so we need a dot, and we're going to do text color equals, and I need to add something here. I'm going to do the same thing for fill color. So this is going to be color RGB dot fill color equals. And I do have a space on each side of the equal sign in all of these just to make it more readable for you. Now, how do I define a color? Well, if I want a basic color name, what I did was put color dot red, or whatever the color was. But that's not what I'm working with. I'm actually working with an RGB value. So I'll start with the fill color. And there is a little bit of math needed here. So the first thing we need to do is create a new array object. What an array is a variable or an object within your form that has multiple pieces to it, so to speak. Now, RGB colors have 3 pieces to them: the red, the green, and the blue colors. So what we're doing is we're going to pass in 3 different colors within this area. But I can't use the actual RGB colors. What I have to do is some math. And that's what makes this unique. So I'm going to get out my calculator, and my fill color is actually 254 in all 3 locations. One for red, one for green, one for blue. In order to do this, I do 254. So I take the value of that R or that G or that B, and I divide it by 255. So whatever your color is divided by 255, that's the maximum number of colors within the RGB piece for red, green, or blue. I hit equals, and you can see This ends up being quite a number, but 0.996 is what I would put in all of these since they're all the same. 0.996, comma, 0.996, comma, 0.996. That should become my fill color. Now what I would want to do is the exact same thing for my text color, and I already have that figured out, so you don't have to watch me do the math. So I'll plug this in up here, just copy that and paste. So working with RGB values is substantially different than working with the basic colors. Now there's one other piece I need to add in here, but let me get the numbers correct. So this one is going to be .686. The next one will be .215. So I've done the math on all of these. So it is kind of odd that you have to do all of the math in here, but this array object for these properties can only accept a number, a decimal number between 0 and 1. So it will always be a point something value. And my last one is 0.486. So there is my R, my G, and my B value for each of these. Now what I need to do is tell JavaScript that these are actually representing RGB values. So I do that at the beginning within the parentheses, and I'm going to put double quotes and a comma in both of these, and inside the double quote I'm going to put RGB. So what I'm doing is telling JavaScript I'm creating a new array. It's an RGB value, and the first item stands for the R, the second is the G, and the third is the B, at least within the program. So I copy this same thing, put it down below to tell JavaScript I'm creating a new array called RGB, and it's going to store these three values. Let's take a look at what happens and if it works or not. So I'll move out to the hand. When I click inside the field, you can see my field is looking white. Let me type my name, and the text color is definitely working. So that is the color of my pen. Let me go take a look at the fill color itself and see what happened. So I'll go out, double click, click the edit, and let's see. I do have fill color, but look at what I did. Text color has a capital C, fill color has a small c. And these are very particular in JavaScript. Everything is case sensitive. My fill color wasn't working because it didn't understand that it was fill color. Those are two different things within JavaScript. So I'll go back to the hand again, click inside my field, and it doesn't quite look like it's updated right now. So let me try typing out my name again. I do find once in a while there's a slight delay in this feature. So that doesn't seem to be working in the fill color even though I've changed it. Let me save the document and I'll go down here. Now I basically need to do the same thing down here. So let me use the select object, double click, and I'm going to go and double check and make sure that I did the second one correctly, because this C was lowercase, and every once in a while I find that Acrobat is a bit slow in registering when I correct these types of things. But these do all look correct. This looks identical to the other one, and my fill color now has a proper uppercase C. So let me copy this, and I'm going to put that into my other object. So I'll close out of that. Let's add that to my day. Go down to custom, click edit, and I'll paste it in here. And let's see what happens in my day field. I'll click the hand. When I click inside, it's still white. Yep, they're both white. let's go take a look at the properties for these particular fields. I'll start with the name field. Now, when I go over to the appearance piece, notice my fill color is showing as white. My text color is pink. So this fill color is overwriting my JavaScript color. So I'll go ahead and say no color in there, and it doesn't seem to want to take it, as you can see. So it just may not be able to recognize the color that I've added. So here's how you can test for that. I'll double click, I'll go over to Format and click Edit, and let's just copy these values. Just in case there was a problem in what I did, I'll drop this one in and see if this one will work. Well, let me try that again. I will copy this one and paste it down here. Let's see if it changes to that. So I'll go out to the hand, click inside, and that definitely works. So that .996, Acrobat doesn't seem to be able to register. So because of that, it just resets it back to white. It says, I don't understand that color, and it goes back to white. So what I would want to do is go and double check the RGB values that I originally had and do the math one more time. So right now we have text on text, and we can't see anything we're doing. So I do want to change that. But I want to point out in the appearance category, what we're doing is actually formatting using JavaScript, and that formatting modifies your appearance color within this area. So it does have an impact within this area on the appearance. I would want to go back and in the formatting, change the color, figure out what my proper color should be, and use that particular color within this area. So what I can do is just eliminate this piece for now until I go ahead and figure out what it really should be. There is a good value up in here, so when it comes time to add the correct color back in this area, I certainly can just copy this one, change it to fill instead of text, plug in the correct values, and I'm all set. So I'll leave it at that with you. I like to show a few issues that you can have as we go through this course, because it can get tricky working in JavaScript and trying to figure those out. But that is how you can add RGB colors to your form fields using JavaScript.